Oh, good morning, guys. I got the mic on here using the other camera, trying to, hopefully this will be good audio and you guys could, it'll just be good all around. But you guys could tell, sweating. It is, pretty humid this morning. Not the coffee, the Crockers that came out today, but the one that came out yesterday with Danielle and I going to the doctor the same day. So yesterday's, not today's, but yesterday's coffee Crockers. We went and did that. We had pretty good news from our pediatrician, so everything looking pretty good. Very happy with that. I have been working on the house. I actually just smashed my finger, big old blood blister on there. So I figured I'd take a quick break and film this coffee Crockers. It's been interesting. This will be the first video, I believe, doing on my own without Danielle since having Reagan. I'm going to try my hardest not to say baby, they, or whatever we were saying before, to try not to tell you guys the gender. That was pretty difficult, to say the least, to try to avoid saying it was a girl. So it was really cool waiting 7 months. We tried to go the whole 9 months. For anyone that didn't know, it accidentally got slipped up, and we were told the gender, which was okay. It worked out for the best. We think it was cool. We still got to kind of hide it from you guys, which was fun. And I'm back on the grind. I'm back on working out here. It is not as much as it has been before, today at least. I am kind of getting back in the groove of things. It's pretty difficult for me to not do something, no matter what it is. It could be anything, really. I have to do it a little bit, get back in the groove of things. I can't just jump right back in. Building is definitely one of those. So I'm starting out with the small, tedious things that I need, things that I absolutely hate doing, but it needs to get done before the next steps. And you guys at this point have seen the start to finish time lapse, if you want to call it that, cost breakdown of this build. We did have a lot of people asking us for a good minute now what it costs to build this. They're not being nosy, they're wanting to do this themselves, and they want to know if it's in their budget, or how much they need to save, or can you do it in different steps, and different things like that. So it definitely helps people, I guess. I am okay with it. I'm okay with everything being the way that it was, and telling everyone how much it was. Technically, at this point, we're a few $1,000s more than what I had said, because we started working on the inside. I would assume at the point where we're at, framing the walls up, putting doors in, buying all the electrical, insulation, and all that, we're probably, I'm just guessing here, we're probably total, I don't know, $15,000 maybe? I don't know. I'd have to really, no, not 15. I was thinking that we were at 12,000. We're probably at like $13,000 total right now. And we really are trying to stay within that $20,000 budget. That's what we budgeted, with money that we had saved, money that we make, and everything else, because we do have baby stuff to deal with. This is something that, we had to think about. We racked up a lot of money as far as medical bills, and then we added Reagan onto the plan, and we're worried that they're going to restart our plan, and we have to get our, what is it called? Deductible. We have to meet the deductible. We're hoping that doesn't start again, because then we would be out thousands and thousands and thousands more dollars that we are really hoping to put into this instead. So trying to stay within that $20,000 budget, so we have money to be able to handle the expenses of medical stuff if need be, if we have to start the deductible over again, which it wouldn't surprise me. I think all of it is a scam. I hate insurance. I hate all of it. I hate government stuff. I hate insurance. I hate taxes. I hate just all of it. It's just a scam in my eyes. I hate it more than anything, because they're just taking money that we earned for no freaking reason. We get no benefit out of this at all. They give it to people that don't work. Rant over. I'm done. But it really has, airplanes coming over, it really has started to put things into perspective of how much money can we afford to set aside for savings and set aside for Reagan, set aside for retirement. You know, YouTube, we don't have a retirement. Danielle's job, she has normal benefits, and as far as YouTube goes, you don't get any of that stuff. If you want benefits, you got to pay for it out of your own money, and not technically you're paying for it out of your own money from a normal job, but YouTube does not provide anything. You have to go out and find it yourself, or you just don't have it. So I have been using ChatGPT, and I have been asking so many questions on, hey, if we invest $50 a week for the next 18 years, what's the best way to invest it? If we just did $50 a week, $200 a month, for 18 years, we would save up, I believe it's $46,800. And if we invest it in like a CD or a bond or whatever, it would be worth about, I think, $77,000. And then if we invest it in some higher end things that are about 8% interest, it'd be worth like $150,000. I can't fully remember off the top of my head. So doing certain ones is a lot higher risk, higher reward, bigger risk, higher the reward. But maybe we could just set something up where we just put $50 a week, $200 a month into a savings for Reagan. So when she's 18, there is a lump sum waiting for her. Not necessarily to give it to her, because I could tell you right now, if at 18 years old my parents gave me $40-something thousand, I would have bought a lot of stupid stuff with it. Danielle would have done the same, and I think pretty much every 18-year-old kid, if they got almost $50,000, they would just blow it. So not necessarily saying we'll just give it to her, but that could go towards, hey, if you don't want to live here, that's a good down payment on a house. Hey, if you want to live here, then, you know, you can buy a car or whatever it is. Now, not necessarily saying she just going to get that money. She would have to be a really good kid and earn it. Clearly, we're not just going to give away anything to a kid that is not worthy of that. And not saying our kid isn't worthy of it, but we do not agree with spoiling kids with money or things. We want to spoil Reagan with our love and with memories, and we can go on camping trips together, or even have moments here, and maybe we're doing little projects or whatever the case may be. That's what we want to spoil her with, but we do want to have some type of plan set up for her. That is the benefit of having one kid, is we're able to do that a lot easier. Not every household can afford hundreds of dollars a month to be saving for their kids, especially if you have, say, if you have 3 kids, that's $600 a month. If you want to do $200 a month each, that's a lot of money just to be putting aside and not using on the day-to-day, you know, month to month. So with one kid, it'll be a little bit easier. So I've really talked to Danielle about it, and we've been talking a whole lot about how we see the future and want to see the future, and it gives me the motivation a lot more now to get out here and do the tedious things, working. Thank goodness, I don't even know what the weather is, 70s or 80s right now. It has been raining here in the area for a week or so now at this point, I believe, and some places near here got like 11 inches. It's crazy. So everything is cooled down. Everything's getting watered. All the dead grass we had has grown back. Now, if it got completely dead and died to a point of no return, it clearly didn't come back. But anything that was still there without shriveling up is back. So I'm very happy with that. Very happy to see all the green grass. Normally at this time during the summer, it's a drought, and we've gotten more rain. I think it was June. I think it was June or July. We had almost 11 inches of rain for the month, which is crazy when normally we'd be in a drought. So I don't know. It's pretty crazy, but thank goodness the weather isn't that bad. I'm not just killing myself in there. I'm able to get stuff done that I need without going over the top with it and really pushing myself too much on the comeback of things. Again, like I said, it's very hard for me to come back after a little time off, and especially with our sleep schedules being thrown off and all that. And it was a little tough this morning. Clearly, like I said, we went to the doctor's appointment, and then Danielle was there at the house, and I ran by Lowe's and got some stuff, and then came out here and started working. And it was a little difficult leaving. It's kind of, it sucks. But I just told myself, I said, the fact that I get to have an awesome wife and an awesome daughter to see every day, it makes it worth it to leave, because it just reminds you when you get back, just like, oh, I love this. I don't know. It is definitely interesting. I never thought I would feel this way. I never thought that I would be this lucky, I guess, to feel this way throughout my whole life, especially in my 20s. All my friends from high school were having kids and stuff, and I was like, you guys are crazy. Like, y'all are nuts. I would never want a kid right now. And at that point, I didn't. And they were like, you just don't know until you have a kid the love you have for it. And I'm like, I'm sure you love your kid. But at that point, being in the 20s for a guy, we're not mentally mature until like our 30s, and sometimes into late 30s. And I'm really glad I waited. I truly am, because I've learned to appreciate the moments, and also I was able to bypass a lot of the struggle and not have a kid at the time when I was struggling. So very, very thankful for that. But yeah, trying to figure out this again, getting it moving, next steps. Hopefully on Monday there'll be a good video for you guys for the Crockers. Making sure everything's good with Reagan. Trying to figure out a game plan where we can go to South Texas to see my family and introduce Reagan to the Crockers. And then just trying to figure out the back and forth with having a baby now. And then figuring out how to invest in our future. And I've been watching camping videos lately again for a minute. Danielle and I just couldn't watch them because we're like, oh, it's just too hard to watch this and not be able to camp. Like, this sucks. Like, it just absolutely sucks seeing this and we can't go camp. Now I'm watching it being like, Reagan is here. She's doing pretty good. She's not sleeping through the whole night yet, but you only have to wake up like 3 times-ish right now to feed and change diapers. She sleeps pretty good. For the most part, there's a night here or there that was a little off. If we can kind of get that down, I don't mind waking up at night and doing that while we're camping. I don't mind doing that and changing a diaper during the day when we're hanging out at a river or looking at mountains or while we're doing whatever. You know, how cool is that? I want to make it a mission that this first year, Reagan won't know any of it, but kind of put that in her spirit. She doesn't even know it, but put it in her spirit and get it where Danielle and I can still enjoy what we enjoy, and we're introducing Reagan to the elements, and then as she gets older and older and older, that's all she's going to know. That's all she's going to know is the good life of being able to explore. I know too many people that have never left their hometowns, and I'm not saying everybody, but most people haven't left their hometowns their whole life, and that's all they know, and that's all they think which is fine, but some people can get very close-minded and think, well, the way we think around here is the way it should be. Well, the religion that we believe in is the only way. The way we see politics is the only way. Like, whatever. I want to be able to explore the country and maybe the world with Reagan and introduce her to a bunch of different cultures and different people and different ways of life and show her different country or states that do different political things and different religious backgrounds and all that stuff, and open her eyes to a bunch of it. And again, no disrespect to anybody that hasn't done that, but I just think that's the way I want to raise our kid. And I don't, it's a crazy world we live in. I don't know how I feel about putting her in school. Danielle and I have talked over a good long while, not just since she's been born, of would we homeschool her? If we homeschool her, then we can go travel, we can do whatever, we can do whatever we want, and we can keep an eye on her. But would we be taking her away from how we grew up and making all the friends in school and the experiences and the socialization and all that stuff? What do you do? And I don't know. There's just too many crazy stories of things going on in this world that I don't know what I want to do. And Danielle doesn't know what she wants to do. And the good thing is we're open with each other and we talk about it. And we talk about things that there's certain things that Danielle thinks a certain way and I think the other way. And whether that's in whatever side of a situation we're dealing with, but we're able to say, hey, I believe this. Hey, I believe this. Let's meet in the middle. And it's going to make things a lot easier raising a kid. I know a lot of families that fall apart because they have different ways of thinking and then they just fight about it, or they fall apart because of financial reasons, or fall apart because they don't get to enjoy each other. They got married for one reason or the other, and they weren't friends. They didn't enjoy the same things. They didn't get to have the memories together that they wanted. Maybe they had to go on a trip, but it's not the trip that one person wanted, or they had to, whatever the case is, I don't know. I'm just really glad that Danielle and I see eye to eye on most things. Not everything, but most things. And then the things we don't see eye to eye on, we're able to communicate and talk with each other and be reasonable, which I think that's a lost thing this day and age, is being reasonable and listening to another side and realizing it's okay to have an opposite opinion. I'm really glad that Reagan has parents that are willing to do that, and that's something that we're going to try to always be like. And again, if we can do it in a good way and travel and do homeschool, even if it's for a while, maybe we'll give her a life that Danielle and I never even thought was possible. Danielle and I went to school. Both our parents, our moms were teachers, and we spent so much time up at the school and all that type of stuff, which, we both grew up in like smaller towns. Danielle grew up in a small town and then ended up being a big town. It ended up being a big, like, city, I guess. I don't know. It's a pretty big place now, but clearly my hometown was very small, and we were able to grow up that way. And maybe we can give Reagan a completely different lifestyle that we didn't even know existed when we were kids. So who knows if it's right or wrong, but luckily we have some years to think about it, and we have at least 5 years before she starts school. And it's pretty cool that I think in the next 5 years we're going to be pretty dang well set up around here. We'll be living very comfortable here. We will be able to have taken her on vacations and trips and camping and seeing family as much as possible and doing all the things that were just a blast that we loved as kids, that we will be able to share that with our daughter and not have to struggle that much because we sacrificed so much over the last several years that it put us where we wanted to be. So it's pretty crazy. Again, we appreciate you guys because without you guys, we wouldn't have this part of our life on YouTube. And it takes our hard work of working and doing all the hard work of YouTube, but it also takes you guys putting in the hours of watching our content and ads and all that type of stuff. So we do appreciate you. It is literally given us the life, a dream life, and we'll be forever grateful for this moment in our time. Who knows how long YouTube will last, but we are very grateful for it as of right now. But I've got to get back to work, get some more stuff done. Hopefully you guys had a great day. Watch the Crocker Life later today, and should be a good update on Reagan. So hopefully you guys have a good one. Bye.